The skin is the protective wrapping of the human body, a first line of defense against invasion by germs. The skin does much more than protect. It also helps the body to breathe, keep a stable temperature, and to get rid of waste products. The skin also serves as a radar aerial, thanks to the millions of nerve endings which send warning signals to the brain. The skin is only 1 or 2 millimeters thick, and it has 3 layers.
It's shut, as far as germs like us are concerned anyway. We never get in, barring accidents.
This is the protective outer layer, the epidermis, and we're about to see a sweat gland go into action.
I ask you, who'd be a germ?
This is the first layer of the skin, 1/4 millimeter under the surface. 1/2 millimeter further down, we come to the basal layer, where the epidermis is created.
If you'd be so good as to let go of my leg, dear boy.
It's your side. I need it up there.
What is all this? We don't like queue jumpers here, you know. You will get there in the end.
Last one up, Sir Rodini.
Who'd be a germ?
In a nearby blood vessel, we rediscover an old friend.
So you see, children, it's completely impossible to wear out the epidermis because every single cell in that layer is replaced within 20 days.
Come on, kids, you haven't earned a rest yet. That oxygen you're carrying is urgently needed by cells along this capillary, so get a move on. You can rest later. And a very good day to you, Professor. Why don't you take the kids on a guided tour once you've made the delivery?
Good idea.
Nice work if you can get it. That's a nice turn.
Me too.
Would you look at that?
Look, Lieutenant, a sit-down strike. We can't get through with our oxygen.
It's quite disgusting, Lieutenant. Just look at them sunbathing while we workers are busy breaking our backs.
It's just not fair, is it?
You're jumping to conclusions. The melanocytes may look as though they're not working, but I can assure you that is not the case.
You're absolutely right, Lieutenant. It's easy to criticize us if you don't know what our job is. We lie here all day filtering out dangerous burning ultraviolet rays from the sunlight with no thought for ourselves. We protect the skin by turning brown to create a suntan. And we also manufacture vitamin D, which is necessary for strong bones. Who works harder than us? Red corpuscles?
Oh.
Let's go, children.
You are the cutest red corpuscle I've ever seen.
Oh, go on. Wake up, Droopy.
Droopy corpuscle doesn't think it's funny. It's hard work squeezing along a tiny capillary in single file, especially for the senior citizens. The young ones don't seem to mind, unless they're very young, that is. Professor Globus is quite puffed out by the time they get to the next layer of skin, which, to the amazement of the young corpuscles, looks like a beautiful garden full of exotic flowers. But these flowers are actually sensory organs, and their stems are nerves.
Here we are, children, the second layer, 0.7 millimeter under the surface. We've left the epidermis behind, and now we're in the dermis. There's a lot going on here. Just look at those nerve endings. There must be millions of them in the epidermis.
Is it the same all over, Professor?
My child, have you forgotten already? I told you once before that the hands and the face have the most nerve endings, which makes them more sensitive than the other areas of the skin.
Professor, what do those flowers do?
All these different types of nerve endings have their own special jobs to do. Some are sensitive to heat, some to cold, some to pressure. Those organs there, for example, they are sensitive to light pressure. Right. Now let's go on. Oh, hold on tight, children, and don't worry, it's only the horripilator.
Good heavens, Professor. That must have been an earthquake.
Nothing like it, I'm afraid. That was just a goose pimple coming up, which proves it must be fairly nippy out there today. Come on, let me show you. Look, he's perfectly harmless.
I pull the hair upright to warm the body, and that's my calling in life. I hope it doesn't upset you, because that's the way it has to be, see? But the only thing I really don't like about this work is the job description. It's horrible being a horripilator.
But to horripilate means to make hair stand on end, that's all. It's a sign of cold or emotion, as in an animal when its hackles rise. Human beings get goosebumps instead. You have another name, too, the erector pili muscle.
I don't like that one either. I want to be called a heating engineer. Huh? Yes.
Well, here we are, smack bang in the middle of the dermis, 1 millimetre down from the surface. Welcome to the gardens of Italy. I love Italy. The warmth, the colours, the music. But before we sample the delights of Italy, let's take a trip to frosty Germany. Krause's corpuscle. He's a cold sensor and takes himself very seriously. Still playing it cool, Krause?
Still making jokes, I'm a hard-working corpuscle with no time for foolishness, Professor.
I didn't mean to offend you, Krause. We all know how hard you work. Just don't overdo it, that's all.
Tin as two!
The road is level now as